be up here long. Okay, so as we all know, our reunion theme is in unity, there's strength through love and caring. And so as I was trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today, and I've been thinking about this, gosh, probably for 20 years now, it's getting close. I really was focused on the words of the theme, and I started to wonder how the theme name came to be. And the more I thought about it, I started to wonder if the words really applied to us. Was there truly a thoughtful process that went into creating this theme phrase, or was it just something that we had someone had seen somewhere and kind of borrowed for our family? And I really don't know the answer to that, but I was curious about these words. And so, I don't want anyone to misunderstand. These are great words. They're unity, strength, love, caring, but they're pretty simple words. They aren't long or hard to pronounce, but I wondered if we really know what they mean. What are we really saying about our family, and do the words truly apply to us as a family? So I decided to turn to Webster in order to gain some insight into the meaning of the words that we throw around each year. So bear with me on this. The first word I looked up was unity, and it said the state or condition of being one, the combining or joining of separate things or entities to form one, harmony of opinion, interest, or feeling. So I thought about this for a few minutes, and I asked myself if unity is something that I witness in our family. My conclusion on that was absolutely. So I have always known that our family was really special. When I was a kid, my immediate family lived in Massachusetts, and one of my favorite times of year was when we would load up in my dad's van, pack the car full of food to come down here for our family vacation. And friends of mine, they would be like, so for your summer vacation, you're going to visit people? And I'm like, yeah, we always go to visit our family in South Carolina. And they thought that was odd that we would travel all this way just to sit around and be with the family versus doing something, like going to Disney or going to the beach. And I'm like, this is what we do. And so, like I said, it was a really special time of year for us, or for me. And what I remember most about coming down was that when I was here, I would see my cousins who all grew up, together in South Carolina, and they were like this big, huge, happy family. Like my cousins were like the best of friends. And so I had friends at home, but when I would come down here, I wouldn't really see their friends. I would see them interacting with each other, like hanging out together, and really felt like their best friends are each other. And I was really envious of that. And then there are my aunts. We all know that the aunts are really close. Everybody knows the three sisters are close. But back at that time, when all of our uncles were here, my father has passed away and Uncle Buddy has passed away. Even the uncles with the aunts were very close. I feel like an outsider might have been a little confused, about who was married to who. I was especially, one of the relationships that really stands out to me is the relationship my dad had with Aunt Pansy. They would cut up and laugh and play around all the time. But they were like just the best of buddies. And so that closeness and that oneness, it extends far beyond the aunts and uncles. When you marry into the family, you really marry into the family. And it's like, you don't even have to marry into the family if you just start coming to stuff. Most of you know Mrs. Arnold. When my kids were little, they were like, and how is Mrs. Arnold related to us? I'm like, well, she's not really, but she's just been adopted into the family. And so unity is definitely something that I can claim this family has. stress. So the next word that I looked up was strength. And strength, in the dictionary or on the web, on a web, it'll say that strength is emotional toughness, the necessary qualities required to deal with stressful or painful situations, a source of strength or support, resistance, the ability to withstand force, pressure, or stress. So strength was something that was a little harder to identify, not because it isn't there, it's just harder to see. Generally, when we think about strength, we think about physical strength, but that's not what we're talking about. Here, we're talking about mental and emotional strength, endurance, the ability to deal with tragedy, challenging situations, incredible circumstances, to resist peer pressures, and to overcome addictions. This is serious stuff. We've all been through situations that require this kind of strength, but it's not only how we go through things like this, but it's how we help others around us go through things. And one of the things that I think is worth saying about this is that a lot of times when you're providing that strength to someone else, you don't even realize it. It might be just a simple conversation that you have with someone that uplifts them, at the point when they really need to hear the words. So, I just want people to realize that, sometimes it happens without you really knowing it. And the person who's receiving that strength, a lot of times they don't realize it until they've come through it, and they look back and they say, so-and-so was such a blessing to me. So moving on to the love. And I'm not going to give any examples of strength because I'll probably cry or something up here. But, well, I do want to say that I appreciate all of the support that my aunts and uncles have given to my parents. My father when he was sick and with my mom and everything. I do have to say that. So love, when love is mentioned, people jump to the romantic meaning of the word. That's obviously not what we're talking about. So we're referring to love in the following context: to feel tender affection for somebody such as a close friend or relative, to feel and show kindness and charity to somebody, an intense feeling of tender affection or compassion, Christian belief, the worship and adoration of God. So love and caring are kind of similar, so I'm going to go ahead and share the definition of caring as well. Compassionate or showing concern for others, provision of medical or other types of care, and then some synonyms are kind, thoughtful, helpful, considerate, compassionate, and concerned, and loving. So acts of loving, caring are the easiest to see. And I see examples of this all the time in our family. Partially due to the fact that many of you have chosen to serve others in your careers. When people ask me about my family, my response is always, my family is full of preachers and teachers. So, and I feel like it's likely that the intensity of these family characteristics are the reason that so many of us, not me, because I was a late addition to this tightness, I guess, but why so many of us have chosen to go into those kind of careers. And so we have teachers, we have preachers, we have people working in social work, the medical field, and these are the careers that that deal with showing love, compassion, kindness, and charity to others, not just family, but to anybody. That's just your passion for what you want to do. So the family really rallies around those who are in need, and they'll offer support without expecting anything in return. I'm extremely thankful to be a part of this family. So often I hear people talk about their families, at work and whatnot. And I just feel sorry for people who've never had the experience to be a part of something like our family. Even when I talk about our family reunion at work, people are just amazed that for this many years, you know, you've had like an organized function that you travel to every year. So I'm thankful for it. And so our theme, in unity there is strength through love and caring, basically describes our family's character. It represents what people think of or feel when they interact with us, what they would say about us. It reflects our overall image. An identity or image is the perception that people have of you, and it's not the perception that you have of yourself. It's the perception that others have of you. And I'll tell you that the people that I respect most in life are the people who really live what they taught, you know. So, and I know all families and all individuals have shortcomings. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, but I really feel that our family can claim this as our identity overall. So, and the other thing I wanted to say, when Jerome and I got married, I had a few friends that came from Massachusetts, and they, even now, they will ask about certain members of the family. And the reason that they still ask after all these years is because when they were here, they felt so welcomed and so included. And that's just a blessing. I mean, I'm happy to be a part of it. So, in closing, I want to say, I can't see it, my eyes are teared up. A special thank you to the aunts and uncles, just for all the support that you have provided to me personally and to my family over the years, encouragement. And I want to leave you with a quote. I don't know who wrote it, but I think it's worthy of putting out. It says, "We are made up of thousands of others. Everyone who has ever done a kind deed for us or spoken one word of encouragement to us has entered into the makeup of our character and our thoughts, as well as our successes. The wise person understands that his own happiness must include the happiness of others." Thank you, and be blessed.